There's no way you can be who you say you are. Gotta be someone else, 'cause he wouldn't touch me like that. Hey, welcome to the Bigger Play Water Rubber Meets the Road, and we get straight to it. Today I want to talk about forcing fatherhood on a man. I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, you slept with her, you listen. Let's have a conversation, right? It's a sad thing, but it's a real reality. You grown, I'm grown. You getting pleasure, I'm getting pleasure. Or we confused thinking we about to get some some pleasure. You get pregnant. We've been together a week, 2 weeks. We've been together 3 years. But we haven't discussed the fact that you may get pregnant because we playing games. I'm in the street. You outside. We met at the party. You thought Tiana. I'm nigga Yama, whatever, right? If one of us don't want the child, so let's get one thing straight. This is perspective based. We perspective, objective. I'm not for abortion. However, women be like, it's my body. I can do it out. Okay. So for the sake of that, I get you pregnant. You say, I don't want the child. I say, I want it. You say you don't want it. You don't have it. You say, I want it. I say, I ain't in a good space. I ain't balanced. I don't want it. You say, I'm going to have it. At that point, women, do you see how much power you have to force fatherhood on a man? And people be saying, well, you shouldn't have laid down with her. False. Listen to me and hear me out and hear me well. I always say be real careful who you lay with because of the level of ignorance that's associated with is I'm going to do what I want to do. You forcing fatherhood on the man. Or you taking the fatherhood away. But for the sake of this conversation, we talking about forcing it. I don't want it, you have it. So at that point, I had no say so. Who are you to say I'm pregnant? And we're not talking about situations to where it's a medical situation and no. We're just talking about naturally. You can have a baby, you don't want to have a baby. You don't want to have a baby, but you can have a baby. I don't want the child. How am I having any say so over this child's life if you saying I want it and I'm saying I don't? What is the 50-50? In life, I'm going to tell you something. This for future women because a lot of women is going to be bitter. If you have a man and you know he doesn't want to be a father, don't force him into fatherhood. I'm going to tell you why. Say I say I'm not a stand-up guy, or I'm just a guy that's saying I don't want the child, you have it. Now I go into a recluse and I'm in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, that baby got questions. It's just so much trauma and chaos that's coming with that. But the man told you he didn't want it. You forcing it on him. That's a sad thing. Why do that to a man? Why force a child on a man who don't want the baby? The level of accountability that's going to be on you is going to be astronomical. You're going to have a lot of regrets. You're going to have a lot of questions. You think you ain't. You're going to question God. You're going to question why. It's going to be a lot of late nights because kids are a major responsibility. And it take a whole hell of a lot to deal with them. I just seen a story where a young lady was crying. She got one. She was just going off. The lady in the comments was like, girl, go take a Tylenol. I got 10. This the thing. The lady in the comments couldn't be empathetic because she comparing the one to her 10. This the problem with that. Psychologically, you never know where this person is at with the one as opposed to you with the 10. You don't know we don't know how you was raised. We don't know how you came up. We don't know how your DNA, your makeup, your constitution, we don't know how you are balanced to have the capabilities to deal with 5 or 10. We don't know this person. We don't know how mentally unstable she is because she might be 2 or sent off the. When we look at these documentaries and these videos and these events where some of the most detrimental and some of the most vile things, the most hurtful and I've seen some things where the woman is so overwhelmed, people in general is so overwhelmed that she's willing to go. Y'all looking at it. I can't say it because the algorithm, but she's willing to go all the way. The accountability there, you have to really take a look in the mirror and say, well, God is telling me what to do. However, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to do what I want to do. And then when it hits you upside your head, you upset, you blaming the father. It ain't right. If she don't want the baby and the man want the baby, 90% of the time, 99% of the time, she not going to have it. She going to do what she want to do. That's not fair. You can snatch fatherhood away. You can force fatherhood. Make it make sense. We lay down, we need to be in agreement. Now, if we in agreement and we have this baby and I become a deadbeat, there's still a level of accountability there. But you know and I know what I did. We know what we did because we agreed to do this. So that's something I'm going to have to deal with on a personal level. And believe you me, the universe going to get me right. Okay? That's what's going to happen. But a lot of the times, he don't want it. You going in there, you saying, I don't care what he want. I'm going to have this. And he better do what? How's that equal? How's that fair? How's that balanced? And a lot of guys be stepping up to the plate for kids that's not theirs. And they don't get no credit for it because that get overlooked. And a lot of guys be, not gonna lie, my friend, if you do have a child with a young lady and you didn't want it and she forced it on you anyway, you still have a level of accountability because the person you chose to sleep with is on that type of time. If 2 people in agreement, it's always better for the offspring. It's always going to be better for the future of that situation because if we're in agreement and I'm a stand-up guy and you a stand-up woman, what's going to happen is regardless of what happened in between us, we're going to both understand what we got ourselves involved in and we're going to respect it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to respect the decision we made. And those are stand-up parents. See, people be like a broken home. The home ain't broken if you got 2 parents that love you and involved. You may not be living in the same household. But that don't mean that it's broken. I'm going to explain to you why. People pass away with no access to their child. What's that? They could pass away, a person that was going to be there for the child. And they pass. Now this child don't have a mother figure or a father figure. And now this parent is left to deal with this seed the best way they know how. If you love on your seed, show them love. Love on that co-parent, although y'all may not be intertwined and be together, there is a level of innateness there. The natural order of things is there to where that child can feel the love. If a child feel the love and feel the love, that's different than you think mommy and daddy together and they're in the back room, can't stand each other. He cheating, she cheating, they frustrated. No. It ain't broken if we love you. The homes change because people go through things and we grow and personalities clash. And it'd be hard for us to coexist when them personalities clash. So for future references and reasons, be very careful on who you choose to lay with, and also be very careful on who you choose to procreate with women, because you can force it on. If I don't want it, you got to consider that and say to yourself, he really don't want this. Why would I just force that on him? Because the outcome may be he really don't want it, so he finna just, or he really do want it. And you could break his heart. It don't matter what men go through. We go through a lot. I really want a son, can't have it, and have 4 girls. I get you pregnant by whatever reason. You be like, no, I ain't having that. You just say, I'm gone. And here I am over here, man, thinking about it 5 years down the line. And you on to the next. And might have went and did it with the next one. And he was a savage and he ain't even right. It's something to think about. You do have the power to take fatherhood away from the man and force fatherhood on the man. And people will say, well, it ain't fair, but the people will be like, life ain't fair. But I'm just telling you, when that accountability comes, you have to deal with that. The young women have to deal with that. You have to live that life and fend for their child and do what you have to do. Might be somebody that ain't right financially, mentally, spiritually. Now you looking for answers and you knew that wasn't supposed to happen. It get real. You know, we be outside, we play the game, we move around, we dance, we shaking, we popping, we doing things we ain't got no business doing. But accountability is an amazing thing. I always preach that because no matter what, it's gonna hold you accountable. Spent too much money last night at the party. I'm feeling it today. Ain't no way around it. Accountability. Okay? Knew I wasn't supposed to buy that Chevy. Bought it anyway. It's problematic. Well, I don't want to use Chevy because Chevy. Well, I don't know. But I'm just saying it's a level of accountability that's with everything. So if that man be like, we don't want to do that, you want to sit down and have that conversation, and you just say, nah, and people, you shouldn't have laid down. That makes no sense. This is the conversation we're going to have too. I'm just putting conversations out there, but in a minute we're going to be able to go back and forth, have some interaction. I appreciate you for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful, happy Saturday. And this is the bigger play. And we ain't come around. We came to have a good old time having some real good conversation. All right? Now you put that nice old skirt on and don't go out there and get pregnant tonight. All right. Unless you're with your husband. Now, if you're with your husband,